my body had a 100% response to the chemo. There was no cancer in my body at all when she went in there to take my breast tissue out. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nakia Drea, and I have been anticipating making this video for so long. OMG. So this video is just going to be updating y'all on my mastectomy and how that went and how it's going. And yeah, so the last video, first of all, we were dealing with my fingernails. They're healing up. They're growing, well, not growing back, but they're healing up. So I'm thankful for that. They're not hurting anymore. And so I was dealing with that right before my surgery, which was December 2nd. So I had my surgery December 2nd, and let me just tell you, the two or 3 days before that, the doctor was like, we saw something on your last MRI, and we saw something on the right breast, basically, and that there may be a mass that could be cancerous on the right side. Mind you, I had just went through 6 rounds of chemo. Y'all already know. Y'all came with me through each round of chemo. And for the doctor to be like, oh, we see something. I'm like, how? How do y'all see something? Like, the chemo is supposed to kill everything. It's supposed to kill the good cells, the bad cells. How can there still have been some cancer growing on the right side of my breast when it originally started on the left side? So that was the first thing that was like, yeah, that was just crazy leading up to the surgery. So I had an ultrasound and I had a mammogram, and she was like, we want to do a biopsy, but we won't have time to do a biopsy in time for the surgery. So I was like, you know what? Like, I was right that day before the surgery, 2 days before the surgery, I was like, look, just take the right one. Just take the right breast. Let's just go ahead and do a double mastectomy, and I don't want to hear about it no more, basically, is what I told her. She told me that it was going to be a little bit complicated because they were going to have to go back and go to the hospital, let them know that, hey, we're not doing just one, we're doing 2 now. And they were also going to have to call my insurance and get it approved by my insurance, right? I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. I did my part, you know. Let's just go ahead and get this over with. The day before my surgery, the nurse, my doctor's nurse, calls me and says, we're not sure if we're going to be able to do the surgery tomorrow because you have 2 insurances and only one of them is approving it. I'm really thinking like, okay, y'all need to figure something out because my mom's coming up here to take me to my surgery. She's already taken off work. My mother-in-law is coming up here to help with my kid. Like, what you mean you don't know if it's gonna happen? Like, we're 24 hours away from me having this surgery, and now we don't know. Now they're saying we may have to push it off until January. We don't want to push it off because you may have to have another round of chemo because it's going to be too far out from your last chemo treatment. Y'all, when I say my mind was everywhere, I'm like, I don't want to have to do chemo again. I had already been anxious and nervous leading up to my surgery. Like, it was hard for me to sleep at night. I know my husband knew that I was anxious. He was anxious himself leading up to this surgery. And so to have to think about pushing it off for 4 more weeks and also having to possibly do another round of chemo, like, I was done. Like, at that point, I was done. I was like, look, give me the scissors. I'll go and cut it myself. Because y'all, whatever y'all got going on right now is just messing up everything that I had already planned in my mind. I'm trying to prepare myself that it's gonna be tomorrow. Like I went and got a massage. I walked around Target just to try to calm my nerves down. So I was preparing myself that tomorrow I was going to be going to the hospital and everything was going to be different. I was already preparing myself for this. So for them to call me the day before my surgery and tell me we may not be doing it tomorrow, we don't, like, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot to take in. And so the nurse, she was an angel. Oh my gosh, she was an angel. Her name was Diana, I believe. I believe her name was Diana. I'm 89% sure that her name was Diana. She was an angel. She was like, look, Miss Bowen, don't worry about it. I'm going to stay on this insurance. They normally take 5 to 10 days to even approve stuff like this. But you have to get this surgery as soon as possible. We're not going to push you. I'm going to stay on them. She was like, go to the hospital in the morning, check in just as you would if it was still going to be tomorrow. And I will call you and let you know. So that's what we did. My mom hit the road Thursday morning, December 2nd. She hit the road about 6 o'clock in the morning. I had to be at the hospital at 11. She got here just in time. I had to go by the plastic surgeon's office first because she had to do the markings on my chest for where they were going to be cutting me. And then we went straight to the hospital from there. I could not eat 24 hours before. I check in at 11. I check in exactly when I'm supposed to be there. The surgery was supposed to start at 1 o'clock, 2 at the latest. It is now 3 o'clock and I'm still in the waiting room trying to check in. I'm still at the admissions on the first floor trying to check in. I haven't seen my doctor, anybody. I'm just trying to check in. So the nurse up front is telling me that, of course, the insurance is not accepting it. So I have a primary and a secondary insurance. I'm under my husband's medical insurance and I have my own for my own job. And so that's kind of where the dilemma was, because my doctor's office had one as my primary and another as my secondary, and the hospital had it reversed. They had this one as my primary and this one as my secondary. So that was the first problem. The second problem was with Blue Cross Blue Shield. So apparently my primary, which was Cigna, told them, here's the paperwork, we approved it, it's good to go. Well, Blue Cross Blue Shield said, we don't need to have okay, y'all hear the sirens. Okay, Blue Cross Blue Shield said that they did not need what is it called? It did not need to be pre-approved, basically. Like, it did not need to be pre-approved. They didn't need any documents. It's a certain type of code for each surgery. They didn't need to have any of that to get a pre-approval. They were fine with just go ahead and approving it, but they weren't going to send any paperwork off because it wasn't needed. They were like, just go ahead and do it. It's fine with us. Well, the problem came because the hospital said, we need Blue Cross Blue Shield to send us some paperwork showing that they said that it's approved. But then the doctor's office is saying, when we called Blue Cross Blue Shield, they said that they don't need the paperwork, y'all. It was a back and forth for 4 hours. Yeah, for 4 hours. And I still don't know what the ending result was, because a doctor was calling my surgeon. She was calling the front desk downstairs, and the lady at the admission, she was like, the doctors don't even talk to us. They don't have anything to do with us. So for her to be calling me, oh, she's pissed. Like, she's going hard for you. She was on the phone like, where is my patient? I'm supposed to be in the operating room right now. Such and such and such. I'm calling because I'm getting involved now. I'm calling the plastic surgeon's office and I'm like, hey, can y'all fax them whatever Blue Cross Blue Shield said to y'all? Because the hospital is telling me that they need this, but y'all are saying y'all have it, but y'all don't have to send it. I'm like, oh my gosh, it was crazy. And it did not help my nerves. Also, I had not eaten since midnight last night. So I was also very hangry, okay? So finally, my doctor, she calls me herself and she like, look, come up to the 7th floor. I don't know what they're doing down there. They will figure it out, but I'm going to be doing your surgery at 4 p.m. Come up to the 7th floor, sign in, and just come on back. So that's what me and my mama did. We went on back. And I told her, I gave her a hug, I told her goodbye, and they sent me on back to my room or whatever. And so from there, I had to, of course, get undressed, put on the gown that they give you. Y'all, oh my gosh, I was nervous. I was just like, I don't know what I was more nervous about. I've been put to sleep before. I've been put to sleep twice before. So I don't know if that's what I was so nervous about. I don't know why I was so nervous really. But I just could not, I guess because this was just like different. Like I said before, my mom has had a lumpectomy when she was going through breast cancer. So I didn't know, or like she couldn't help me prepare for this stage. And like 2 days before, it was supposed to be one breast. And now the day of surgery, now it's 2 breasts. It was just a lot that was changing, a lot that was happening. And I just could not grasp it all. Like my mind was just, every night, y'all, I was just a mess, trying to just go to sleep and trying to relax. My husband was trying to keep it together. My kid, she don't know what's going on. As long as she got some chicken nuggets, she's fine. She don't know what's going on. So it was just like a lot, y'all. Oh my gosh. Whew. So okay, I go back. They start my IV. They wheel me on back. The last thing I remember is them putting the mask on me. And yeah, I remember waking up and I was like, where's my mama? Oh my gosh, y'all. I was looking for my mama once I woke up. That's all I wanted. Like I said, they started about 4 o'clock. They text her as many updates as they had to do when the surgery started, what they were doing, when it ended, when I went to the recovery room. So it lasted about 4, maybe 4.5 hours. I remember finally getting to my room with my mom about 9:30 is when they gave me my phone and I checked the time. So, but she said that they text her that they were waiting for me to wake up at like 8 something. So it took about 4.5 hours. And I got the mastectomy and I also got the reconstruction, the immediate reconstruction, which means they put the tissue expanders in. My plastic surgeon, she put the tissue expanders in. And if you know exactly what they are, so I'm going to be getting implants put in. I did decide to go ahead and get the implants put in. But before they can do that, they have to put the tissue expanders in. They start them off flat. And every week or 2 weeks, I'll go back to her office and she'll put air in them, kind of like a balloon. She'll put a little bit more air in them just until it stretches my skin and we get to the size, bra size that I want to be. So right now, they look a little funny. It looks a little funny. I'm not gonna lie. It looks very funny. Only because she did not put that much air in them, so I can see it's literally just skin and the shell of the tissue expander. So I can see all of that. Like I can see the outline of the tissue expander. I'm gonna show y'all later. Well, yeah, I'm gonna show y'all later. So that'll be in the next video actually. So yeah, I got the tissue expanders put in and I remember, like I said, waking up with my mom there. And so I started to come to, but I was really drowsy. I was really drowsy. Oh my gosh, I could not wait for the anesthesia to wear off because I was trying to like text everybody, let them know that I was good, give them updates on me. But I couldn't. I was probably texting halfway sleep. Yeah. And after that, I was starving. Like for real, I was hungry. But they were like, you can't eat anything heavy right now, until because I still had like the anesthesia and everything on my stomach. So they gave me some Jello, and that ain't what I wanted. I ate like 3 bites of it. I drank some water, and maybe like not even 30 minutes later it came right back up. But like all of that medicine that they gave me in the IV and the anesthesia, like I was throwing it back up, which they said was a good thing to get that like off my stomach because I had been asleep for so long. So oh yeah, I spent one night in the hospital, mainly because of course, like I said, I didn't get to my room until like 9:30, so I just stayed there the whole night. The pain level coming right out of it, like, you know, 3-4 hours later, was like a 8. I have a high pain tolerance, so it was like an 8. And so they were coming in giving me the pain meds and all of that. Like I said, every 2-3 hours they would come in and give me the pain meds. And yeah, the next morning I was able to eat a breakfast. Y'all, I woke up at 6 o'clock. You can call down to the cafeteria at 6:30. I was watching the clock. Like I was hungry. Didn't want no more Jello. Didn't want no more water or ice. I was hungry. So 6:30, I ordered breakfast, and by 10 o'clock, we were being discharged the next day. That morning. So yeah, I was good enough to be discharged. I was kind of actually happy because I wanted to come home and see my baby. I was away from her, but she was good because like I said, my mother-in-law was here, and my husband was good. My sister was checking in on them, making sure everything was good. So they were fine, and my mom was just happy to get out of the recliner. If you've ever had to be a visitor in the hospital for somebody and stay overnight, you know exactly how terrible that recliner is. She was, oh my gosh, even though she was over there snoring because she was so tired, we had a long day. Yeah, she was ready to get to the house too. So, but I do want to end this on a good note. So I went to my first post-op appointment on this past Thursday. It was 1 week, and I met with the breast surgeon. I was so anxious. Like I remember when I came to from the anesthesia after the surgery, I asked my mom, I was like, did they get all of it? Did they say my lymph nodes were negative? Like, did they find any more? And she was like, yeah, she said your lymph nodes were negative. But I don't know about everything else. So I was so anxious to get to my first post-op appointment to ask my doctor. And okay, I'm gonna try to do this part. I wanted to tell y'all everything else first so that I could get to this part without crying. I've been walking around with this paper like in my purse. It is my pathology report, and it literally says like they tested 5 lymph nodes. Let me see. Yeah, they did 5 lymph nodes. They didn't find any cancer in my lymph nodes, so it did not spread. Like I said, once they went in there to go and see it, it literally says no residual invasive carcinoma is present in the breast after pre-surgical therapy, no lymph node metastasis, and no prominent fibrosis scarring in the nodes. Like, my body had a 100% response to the chemo. There was no cancer in my body at all when she went in there to take my breast tissue out. Also, remember when I told y'all about they saw something on the right side? That wasn't even cancerous. whatever they saw over there, I think she said it was scar tissue or something, wasn't even cancer. But I prayed about it when she called me about it. Those days leading up to the surgery, and when I made the decision to go ahead and take them both, I prayed about it, and I told God, I said, just flat out give me an answer. Give me an answer. Give me a sign, because I need to know what. It wasn't even cancerous though. So I could have kept it, but I was not upset, and I'm still not upset at my decision. I am so at peace with my decision of them taking both of my breasts. Oh my goodness. My appointment was December 9th, like I said, last Thursday, and I just remember telling my mom, I was like, every time I'm here, she has some type of bad news. And that day, the doctor came in, she literally was dancing. She was like, I got some good news. I'm like, what, girl? What you gotta tell me? Like, you already took my titties, so what else you gotta tell me? You know, I just really was not expecting this. Like, this was the best Christmas gift I could have asked for. Oh my gosh. To know that I went through chemo for 6 rounds and it did exactly what needed to be done. Let me not leave out that she also said that I don't have to do radiation because I had a 100% response to the chemo. Y'all just don't know. Like, oh my gosh, I was so nervous. Like, even though I know radiation doesn't have any of the, not nearly as bad side effects as chemo, I still just did not want to have to go through it. When I tell you God shows up when you least expect it, because I just was like, what else? What else, God? Like, what else you gonna throw at me? But he was like, I'm gonna give you a break. I'm gonna give you a break. You did exactly what I needed you to do. I needed you to go through this. And now, we're done with it. Now you at peace. This is exactly where he needed me to be. And I told my husband the other day, I was like, I could not see the finish line in this. Starting May 11th, when I found out that I had breast cancer, starting my first chemo June 25th, getting my last chemo October 15th, and having my surgery December 2nd, like, all this within one, like, in month span, like not even a whole year. You know what I'm saying? Like, so much happened. It happened so fast that I never once got to sit down and catch my breath and just woosah and just process it. Like, oh my gosh, it happened so fast. And I'm just so glad that it's over with, that part is over with. I don't know what is ahead as far as the reconstruction goes and the implants go. I really don't know. But I am not going to worry about it, because I know the same way that God brought me through this, he's going to get me through that. Y'all, I'm just so happy. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad I got through this without crying. I've had 3 days to process it now, because I wanted to let y'all know about it when it first happened. Like, I would have been boo-hooing then. But yeah, y'all, oh my gosh, just to know that I am done with it. I am officially cancer-free. What? To even say that I just beat breast cancer still sounds crazy to me. I had breast cancer, okay? It's gone now. We did that. Y'all was right there with me. I thank y'all so much for rocking with me this whole journey, because it has not been easy, man. It has not been easy. Like, y'all were telling me, you so strong, you my inspiration. Y'all just don't understand. My mind, my body did not feel strong. My faith was wavering up and down a lot. It was just hard, y'all. It was so hard. This is not easy at all. But I'm just so thankful to God to have made it through this. I'm so thankful that he not once ever let me give up on myself. I am so thankful for y'all for encouraging me, for sending me all the prayers, all the love, because you just don't know. On my darkest days, I needed that. I needed to be reminded that, hey, girl, you got this. You gonna get through this. I needed those reminders. So I thank y'all so much from the bottom of my heart. Oh, I know this was a long video, but I had to get all of that out there. So yes, in the next video, I'm going to be talking more about my mastectomy and how I felt, the essentials that you need if you have a mastectomy coming up, or someone that you know has a mastectomy coming up and you want to get them some things to help them as far as comfort level goes and just being there for them. Yeah. So any questions y'all have about my mastectomy, or any questions that y'all have about, like I said, things that you need to get through a mastectomy, just mentally or emotionally, leave your comments, leave your questions down in the chat. I will gladly answer them for you. But yeah, I just had to come and tell y'all this good news. You know, your girl's cancer free. Okay. Your girl is cancer free. Thank y'all so much. I will see y'all on the next video. Bye.